Hello and welcome to the podcast. We hope you survived the experience. I'm Pete.
I'm Mike.
And today we're covering the Uncanny X-Men 131.
Here's my copy of it, and it's cool because on the back is an ad for Star Trek, the motion picture.
Very cool.
Which kind of sets us in a particular frame of time.
Yep. So we've had two very big debuts in the last two issues. We had Kitty Pryde and Dazzler.
Emma Frost also in 129.
Emma Frost also.
Shaw also in 130. Yep.
This issue, I don't believe we have any first appearances. We just kind of have the culmination of the last three issues.
Yeah. So the Dark Phoenix Saga encompasses 9 issues from 129 to 137, arguably 138 as well. But it splits very neatly into groups of 3 issues. Mm-hmm. 129 through 131 is one complete story. 132 through 134 is a complete story, even though 133 is the complete story. Yeah. And then the last 3 are the last phase of it. Anyway, something I find interesting about this cover is that very clearly the White Queen on the cover had to be hastily redrawn. As you can see, how everybody else has great details and is in good motion poses and everything. Emma Frost has no arms and is just kind of like
I didn't notice
hanging out with a ill-defined face. Because originally she was just a little too sexy, and so they had to erase her and have Terry Austin hurriedly redraw her.
Her arms were too sexy?
Well,
I get that other parts of her were too sexy. It's just the arms.
I think that Terry Austin just sometimes forgets things when he's not inking. Like, if he's inking, he's phenomenal, and if he's drawing, he's like, do people have arms? I'm not sure.
I can't remember. So, do we have 2 Colossuses?
2 Colossuses, yes. Because you need 2 Colossuses.
At least 2.
But it's because it shows 2 different scenes. Yeah. 3 different scenes, actually.
Yeah, but he's the only person on there twice, I think.
Yeah, he is.
Right.
But we have Nightcrawler carrying Kitty in the bottom right. We have Cyclops and Colossus beating up Hellfire people in the bottom left. Hellfire people guarding Storm, Colossus, and Wolverine on the upper left. And then in the upper right, whatever that was supposed to be.
Something Emma adjacent. It's not Emma, but it's a terrifying facsimile.
So something cool to me on the first page of this issue is that we have a floating head panel, and I talk about floating head panels a lot. So I'm going to open this up and show everybody floating heads. Mm-hmm. It's these disembodied heads on the edges of the page. Mm-hmm. This was a classic Silver Age technique. Mm-hmm. All of the early Justice League and Avengers issues would do this. It's the only time I remember John Byrne's X-Men doing it.
I don't think the X-Men do it a whole lot.
But I am a sucker for a good floating head panel.
It's a very cool page. You have Kitty running down the street with a look of just complete terror on her face.
It says that she's been running for hours. And that she's thought about giving up several times, but she can't. She's determined. Mm-hmm. But she is only 13 and a half because we have to mention at least 5 times every issue that she is 13 and a half.
I don't know why she hasn't at some point decided to walk into a police station or a federal building, because she's distinctly running through Chicago, not Forest Hills at the moment.
Right. You know what, Pete? You're ruining the magic.
I'm sorry.
So this story relies on us thinking that Kitty Pryde had no choice but to just run down stupid alleys wherever.
And FBI and
but however, I mean, I will argue that she's not super familiar with the abandoned warehouse district of Chicago.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, would you be able to find a police station around here if you're just running down streets? You don't go here very often.
No, that's true. I mean, no, you're right. I'm trying to find a way out of this trap. Ann Arbor, I could do.
Well, you're not in Ann Arbor.
I'm not in Ann Arbor. We are in an undisclosed location. It isn't. I guess I disclosed it isn't Ann Arbor. So
it is not Ann Arbor. But anyway, so the Hellfire Club in a Lincoln Town car is...
Did they do it twice already? Yeah, they do.
Is chasing her down, and it looks like it's the end for Kitty Pryde because she's only 13 and a half. But hey, here comes Phoenix.
The freaking Phoenix, just standing in front of the Lincoln.
And the Hellfire Guard has the smartest idea of all time, which is, we've already discussed that this is the most powerful mutant in existence, possibly as powerful as a god.
Let's just run her over. Yeah, that could work. Why not?
What bad could happen? Only good could happen.
And Jean Grey telekinetically takes the car apart as it's coming towards her.
Like, rips, like, this art shows, like, individual parts of the tires and the engine coming apart. The dude is, like, flying through the windshield because apparently either he didn't wear a seatbelt or she just incorporated the seatbelt.
I like to think that he follows proper driving etiquette and was where when you're trying to run over a teenager, you wear your safety belt.
Yeah, but too bad for him. Jean Grey said, no safety belt for you. Just ripped it totally apart.
Mm-hmm. And then you have Kitty just going, what the heck? What the what?
So Kitty has an expression of terror in that her rescue was almost more terrifying than her pursuit.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, okay, these guys in a car chasing me down and it's scary,
yeah,
but
like,
what was that?
But, but you can understand that, incarnate goddess descends to the earth in front of you and rips apart a car with her brain. That's a bit much.
And Scott comes up and says to Jean, like, hey, you didn't need to do that. Why did you do that? That's crazy. Jean's like,
because I can.
It's like, you didn't see what naughty things these people were thinking. Meanwhile, Nightcrawler...
That guy's greatest fantasy was to be in a car that was being taken apart by a redhead. It's a very unique fetish.
I'm sure there's a market for it. But anyway, Nightcrawler is on civilian patrol, grabs Kitty, and runs away with her. And Dazzler's just like, what?
I'm a bit out. I make shiny lights. I'm a bit outclassed by the goddess.
And Jean calls them animals, and they got no more than they deserved. So she's just definitely, and Scott's like, that's new. She's not.
Well, she's decided to take human life for sport. This can't go badly.
She doesn't usually have a second cup of coffee at home. 70s commercial reference. So then Nightcrawler calls Cyclops and Jean to go up to the top of the building. Scott just tells Jean to pick him up. And what kind of annoys me during this period of time is that literally anything that Jean Grey does, everybody else is like, wow, that's powerful.
She's picking up two people. She's picking up two people. I mean, like during the Proto Saga, she was lifting up like a dozen X-Men at a time. But this is two people. Yeah, it's kind of lame.
Yeah, it's like I imagine like if she goes to a malt shop with them, they're like, Jean Grey drank an entire milkshake. That's scary.
I mean, you clearly don't have stomach problems like I do. A full malt is terrifying.
So Nightcrawler lost a girl because she dove through the roof.
Listen, I saved her. I had her. She was right here. And then she went through the roof. Why didn't you tell me she could go through the roof?
I think that actually Scott and Jean don't know that yet. So Scott's like, hey, Jean, you just like destroyed a car. You're the most normal one of us.
You're the least terrifying. I should have to glass out of my eyes. Kurt looks like a demon. Allison has no interior monologue.
And weird makeup.
Yeah.
And so Jean uses her flexibility to change into boring clothes, goes downstairs, and like...
I like how she keeps the Phoenix coloration.
Yeah, that's true. She says, what's a nice kid like you doing in a place like this, as her pickup line against a 13-and-a-half-year-old.
I'm just gonna assume that Chris Claremont didn't know what he was writing there.
I think it was meant jokingly. Yeah. And Jean gives her a hug and says, we're the X-Men. We're going to help you out.
And Jean, and like Kitty just gives her like a snotty faced hug. That girl's having a bad day.
It is.
And John Byrne draws John Byrne draws this ugly crying face beautifully.
Yeah, it's good art. So the X-Men go to their sky ship, which I don't know why it's not the Blackbird.
It's just another. They just have another.
It's a random. I think that John Byrne was like, I would like to draw just some random vehicle. Thank you.
Okay,
and
why not?
he
Sure.
Drew a random vehicle. Thank you. And within the vehicle, the X-Men are just basically having a little dialogue with Scott saying like, Kitty, you don't look too hurt. Dazzler saying,
Please don't sue us.
Dazzler's just like, oh, this is weird. Now I'm fighting people. That's wacky. And Nightcrawler's brooding because he thinks that Kitty Pryde is racist against blue people. She probably is.
She is.
So Kitty.
And apparently, apparently the X-Men are now kidnapping the Hellfire Guards. Hellfire Guards kidnap the X-Men.
Circle of life. It moves us all.
It's kind of poetic, really. Aren't we all the Hellfire Guards sometimes?
And so Kitty gives the 2-sentence rundown of what happened in X-Men 129. Notably, when Scott's looking at her bruises, she pulls her bell bottom all the way up to her knee because they're such ridiculous bell bottoms. She could just do that.
Yeah, the ankle coverage is
And note that Kitty Pryde is wearing a Star of David.
Yeah. She has. It's just a little. Like we were saying last time, a couple episodes ago. It's just there. It's not going to be. I don't even think they're gonna bring it up until the Christmas issue.
Yep. So far, they have not made a single mention of the fact that she's Jewish, except for having the Star of David in the art.
It's actually very, very well done.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to do diversity in a way, is to just like make it so it isn't a big deal. It's just there.
Yeah.
So.
And on that very serious note, Kitty Pryde then mentions that, Aurora just had your phone number sewn into her clothing.
And Scott's just like, yeah, she's weird.
Yeah, well, she can control the weather, so we just let her have her eccentricities.
Cyclops tells Jean to mind scan the Hellfire Club guards in order to find out what's going on here. And I love the panel that they show of her reading their minds because it shows half of the Hellfire face, half of Jean's face.
That's pretty awesome, yeah.
And it gives a kind of a rundown of the Hellfire Club, of the stuff that's going on so far, and Emma Frost, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. And the Spade seat is again empty in the flashback.
Yep.
It's like weird now.
It's getting weird.
Is that a plot point at any point?
I don't think that they ever mentioned playing cards ever at all.
Okay.
And so Jean's like, Hellfire Club, that sounds familiar.
I think I had a wedding there last issue.
And like one of my ancestors was a member of the Hellfire Club, and was with a dude who was a big member of the club, Jason Wyngarde. Such a sexy dude. Definitely not a scrawny guy with three hair.
So she's now having lustful thoughts about either her great grandmother's husband or the guy that her great grandmother was messing around with. It just seems weird. I don't know, man. Wasps are weird.
I mean, no comments. And Jean is like, kind of like, oh hey, Cyclops. Yeah, I wasn't thinking anything weird. I wasn't fantasizing about Jason Wyngarde. I wasn't doing it. Scott's like, aren't you just reading their minds? Oh no, yeah, that's what.
That's all I'm doing. That's all.
There was no fantasizing about weird Regency era people.
I was not getting all steamy thinking about my great grandfather.
Whatever I was doing, it had nothing to do with another dude. Just so you know.
And then we just get Frost Industries.
And the car that the Hellfire Club had been before is pulling up to Frost Industries.
Because she just put it back together.
She just put it back together. Which is kind of like, I didn't know that Jean Grey had that amount of auto repair ability.
She probably just sucked it out of the brain of one of the car talk guys.
Actually, what I like to think with this, and this is kind of a stupid thing, but I like to think that she didn't put the engine back together. She could just move the car without
I actually
it.
kind of like that.
I mean, she's got this god-level telekinesis. I mean, why bother putting all the cylinders back in place when you could just move the car?
Gene, the wheels don't seem to be turning. You're at 0 RPM, and the car is just kind of hovering an inch off the ground.
It's
yes,
fine.
What is your point?
It's fine.
I do love the fact that Gene is using... I mean, we all know where this is going, but I do love the fact that Gene is using more and more power, more and more casually. It's like, it really is, I'm going to, create human life and have, I will create a homunculus to go across, to reach so that I don't need to turn off the light switch.
Yeah, she is...
I was going somewhere with that, I'm not sure where.
Just doing crazy stuff, like putting cars back together, making everybody think that she is gagged in the back seat, along with Cyclops, Dazzler, and Nightcrawler.
So who is this? This is just a guard that she's puppeting?
Yep, he's one of the dudes who had massive brain trauma from being in a car that suddenly was destroyed by the Phoenix.
Yeah.
And he's still unconscious. Cyclops mentions that in a few pages.
Oh, God.
He is still unconscious.
So she's just puppeting him and making him...
She is legitimately puppeting this dude and making him make small talk with other dudes.
That's terrifying.
This dude, who is driving the car and just chatting up his friends, is also unconscious. It is clearly stated in here.
I don't like this anymore.
And... yeah, and he just makes total small talk.
Yeah. I'll buy you a beer later. I'll tell you all about the story about how I stopped the X-Men.
Yeah, and say hi to your wife, and you still owe me $5 from that poker tournament a month ago, and
the X-Men do not respect the sanctity of the human mind.
Phoenix does that. Well,
any telepath involved in this franchise does not.
Okay.
Cyclops maybe. Psylocke maybe. She just doesn't care.
Psylocke's go-to move is just destroying people's minds, as opposed to...
I prefer that somehow. I don't want her walking around in there.
So Emma Frost kind of smells a rat because she thinks that Salvador sucks.
Wait a second. He couldn't have stopped the X-Men. My minions aren't good enough for that.
That guy sucks. She's like, it seems normal, but let's be very careful because I don't buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Her bullshit sense is tingling.
And then she just walks over to the crucified, essentially crucified Storm. Yeah, her arms are like this, not like this, whatever.
And she's like, don't fight my psychic probes. It will hurt, and I want us to be friends.
There's really nothing more terrifying in all comics than Emma Frost wanting to be your friend. Because she will blow up your horse if you like the horse more than her.
And while she's saying, I want us to be friends, she's also grabbing Storm's forehead and clearly causing trauma to Storm's head.
Mm-hmm.
Brain punching her while she's saying, let's be friends. Who brain punch each other. Well, actually, I brain punch you. You don't.
Yeah, you don't brain punch me.
Yeah,
I brain punch you.
It's a one direction brain punch relationship. So Kitty Pryde, meanwhile, sneaks into where the other X-Men are. She's surprised that Storm is gone because Storm was her go-to. But Cyclops has said to try Wolverine next. And Kate's even unconscious, this dude is spooky. And she also...
She's 3 feet tall. He's 90% body hair.
She mentions that Wolverine is about the same height as her, but much heavier.
Yep.
Because of the adamantium.
So I don't know if I've actually mentioned this before, but this scene is something that will come up repeatedly in Kitty's future. She will bring up many times to Emma Frost, hey, you remember that time you kidnapped me and kept the X-Men? You remember that time you tried to kidnap me and you kept the X-Men in a cage?
Literal cages?
Yeah, it's not metaphorical.
Not a prison cell, not a
canary cage.
But literal cages. You remember that? Now you're lecturing me on morality when you kept people in a parakeet cage? Is that...
For the next 40 years, anytime Emma starts to feel herself, Kitty will bring this up.
She'll be hey, you're cool and all, but remember
That human trafficking?
Remember, those bird cages kept the X-Men in, and how you had people chase me around Chicago when I was
trying to run me over
and a half?
Yeah, and a half. That wasn't 13. 13-year-old Kitty probably couldn't have handled that.
13 and a half. All right.
That'll become less funny at some point.
No, never. So she has to explain to Wolverine that the cages mess with the brains and makes you dopey.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what are you doing? And she's, I'm rescuing you. He's like, you're by yourself? Are you an idiot? And she's like, oh, of course not. I've got the...
I've been shot in the back.
Got shot in the back.
Not fair, so it was an energy rifle. It wasn't like a bullet,
So Wolverine picks up Kitty, who is totally out cold, in the classic Pieta pose, which we will see again in 136 with Scott holding Jean that way.
Yeah, it's like her eyes aren't...
Her eyes are still open, and her mouth
that
is
disconcerting.
Open. Yeah. She is knocked the heck out.
Yeah.
And Hellfire Club guards are like, hey, just go back in the cage. Everything's cool.
Just go back in there.
Wolverine's like, I have a difference of opinion with you on this matter.
I will stab you. Yes. Listen.
Best I can offer is I stab you.
Listen, I've always said something all night. There was that guy, there was like a malt shop owner who won't let me look at hardcore pornography in front of families. I got to take out that aggression somewhere.
So meanwhile, the Hellfire Club sees the car with Jean and them in it pull up, and Jean is like, all right, well, show's over. Let's try to get crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Scott, Jean, Dazzler, all like, and Nightcrawler all do cool power moves.
Dazzler just pops out the freaking roof.
Yep. Scott pops off the roof, and Dazzler comes
Dazzler
out.
Makes her entrance, okay, yeah.
And does this whole light show. In other words, they're dazzled.
So what I really like about this is, did you ever play the, when around 2005, 2010, there was a couple of games called The Operative. It was like a campy, spy thriller first-person shooter. The thing that was noted about it was it had like hours upon hours of guard banter. And that just really reminds me of this. All these minions clearly have lives. They all.
Hitman was like that too.
Yes. These are all these aren't NPCs. These are all people who have interior. They have wives to go home to.
And something I was going to mention is that Chris Claremont gives them all just like totally wacky names, like what was saying, Rhodey and like Elton and Salvador, and like they all have like super unique names. And I think possibly so that Claremont could be like, these aren't possibly like superhumans in disguise. These are people with weird names.
Yeah, these are people who are here for the healthcare.
And Emma Frost probably put out an advertisement saying like, are you a mercenary who has a really weird name? Because if you are,
we're hiring.
So Jean immediately goes to help out Storm. And once again, Jean's doing a totally normal thing that Jean often does, which is link them all up mentally. And Scott's like, it's weird. I don't like it.
This thing you've been doing since issue number 5.
It's weird. I don't like it. And he does mention that the unconscious driver was just a puppet.
Yeah, oh god, that's terrifying.
And so the X-Men are going into battle. Nightcrawler does the most awesome Nightcrawler move of all time.
Is it a backflip or forward flip?
No, he teleports. While he is throwing a punch, he teleports and hits 3 different people with the same punch. With a giant bamf in the background. Also, Phoenix confronts Emma, who Emma is like, I'm going to turn Storm into a vegetable. And Jean's like, oh, going to turn someone into a vegetable? Huh?
How about you? How about we turn you into
a vegetable now, Emma Frost?
That is like the most terrifying...
Yeah, she's totally creepy.
Got the Kubrick stare going on.
Yep. So, the X-Men are beating up the Hellfire Guards, and Jean is confronting Emma. Colossus turns into steel and saves Kitty's life, and Kitty is like, that was pretty sexy.
How you doing?
Colossus was feeling bad about the fact that he just like smacked the crap out of these people in his armored form, and she's like, "Hey,
how you doing, Mother Russia, huh?"
So now we have Phoenix and Emma Frost squaring up. Storm again. Everything that Jean Grey does, someone is like, "This is scary, and I don't like it."
In all fairness, Jean straight up kills Emma Frost over the course of one panel. We're gonna find out later that she was comas and life force.
Yeah.
But I looked this up. For the next 30 issues, we are led to believe that Emma is just dead.
20 issues.
20 issues, okay.
But yeah, we have a giant Phoenix Raptor. The whole building that her and Emma were in is blown up. Scott is like uselessly digging through a wreckage when all of a sudden Phoenix Raptor. So incredible that Nightcrawler not only speaks in German but uses lowercase letters, which is very rare in comics.
So the Phoenix is reborn from the ashes. Who saw that coming?
I like the next couple of panels where first it shows the X-Men, the aftermath of this in their like underwear and whatever, and then it shows the same people in the same positions but dressed
back in the lawn in front of Katie's house. Yeah.
Yep.
There was a suit, or Peter is in the world's largest sweater.
Yep. And Xavier actually, who had been dogging the X-Men a few issues ago, is like, "I think you guys did a pretty good job."
I'm glad I'm no longer being kept tasered at a table.
Xavier offers Dazzler to join. He's like, last issue, or 2 issues ago rather, Cyclops was asking any random person on the street if they want to join the X-Men, so I thought that was cool, so I'm going to do it.
But Allison decides to just leave the X-Men there. Now they're in Chicago. They are in the Chicago suburbs. Allison, presumably all of Allison's stuff is in New York.
It is mentioned that Kurt drives her to the airport so that she could just go back to New York. But meanwhile, Kitty Pryde's dad approaches the X-Men and is really mad because he's like, "Hey, you guys left with my daughter. She's been gone for an entire freaking day. We don't know what happened.
These aren't the clothes she left in."
And he's like, "The malt shop burned down and there were dead bodies in there, and what's going on? This is crazy. I'm really mad about everything."
But hey, how will you guys come in for brunch? Brunch sound good. We got brunch. We got brunch on the table.
Like, there is a very obvious and noted change of opinion of him, and he all of a sudden is super nice, and Jean's like, "What's going on? Professor Xavier seems as shocked as I am," and Jean's like, "Yeah.
We had to change his mind, Scott.
It's like,
we changed his
just
mind.
doing what comes naturally. I know you don't like me doing it, but you know what? I did it.
If you complain too much, you will like that I did it."
And she's like, "It's for their own good that I've totally mind controlled them. They're happier mind controlled. Aren't you guys happy? Yes, we're happy. Yes, see?
You know how our main villain is about to have a whole revelation about surviving the Holocaust? This won't come up.
Not at all. So, Scott and
Storm are just like, "Oh, that was terrifying."
And Storm's like, "This is pretty creepy." And Scott's like, "Yeah, but at the same time, she's still Jean." And Storm says, "There's a wrongness about her. There's a dark side to her that could consume her." Almost as if someone's manipulating her. And we have Jason Wyngarde laughing in a image in the sky behind them.
Some sort of Dark Phoenix, if you will.
So there's one more thing I wanted to mention. In the original issue, it does give us the circulation numbers of X-Men this time. 320,000 copies of this issue were printed.
Which at this point, which in 2026, Marvel would kill to have anything. I think Amazing Spider-Man maybe does something like that.
I think it does like 100K now or something.
No, so it does a third of that.
Nice. Yeah, so, but this was actually still a relatively low-selling comic at this point. Anyway, so that's Uncanny X-Men number 131. We hope you survived the experience.
Yes. And if you do, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Boop. Hit the square.